All right, guys, let's just start sitting in just a position that feels comfortable for you this morning. And just start to close your eyes and deepen your breath. Tuning into your Ujjayi breath. And this is our breath that will guide us throughout our practice today and maybe even off our practice today. So there's a slight constriction at the back of the throat on your inhales. And on your exhales, keeping the lips sealed and feeling for making the ha sound with the lips sealed in the back of the throat. The breath sends a signal to the body that we are safe. And so the breath is nourishing and it guides us to the present moment, taking us out of automatic pilot mode and into the here and now, which is what we're practicing today. So continue breathing in this way as I set the intention for our practice today, which is to ground ourselves. Grounding our attention to the rich interior workings of the body. And the more I practice yoga, the more I come to feel that this is the purpose of yoga, it's the goal of yoga. And the more time that we spend in our days, in this age of accessibility, in this age of technology, the more time we actually require to be in the body. So grounding to the body can sometimes be very obvious. For instance, the strong sensations of opening up our hamstrings. And it could also be quite subtle, such as using the breath to open up a tight spot in between the shoulder blades. And there are many ways to ground to the body. But today, for the purposes of our class today, we're just sitting and breathing. And in honor of the start of this new astrological season, Leo season, the start of moving into the fire element, today we're going to practice grounding to any strong sensation that you're feeling in the body. So using intensity to ground our awareness rather than deter it. Sometimes what can happen is that we feel something strong and our energy and our attention just goes everywhere else but in, because we try to avoid it. And that's just the natural human reaction, right? Is to avoid pain. But actually that's where our greatest growth is. And this is an advanced practice because it involves us getting quiet and feeling what is already there, which may be unpleasant, but we choose to stay and we choose to work with it because there's really no other way. So if this intent of grounding to the stronger sensations resonates with you, set it now. And if not, it's okay, just choose something else. Just make it something spiritual. Take a very deep breath into that. And then exhale, slowly blink your eyes open. And we're coming into a knee pile, which is stacking the left knee over the right. This is knee pile, or a cross-legged position with the left knee crossed over the right, whichever one feels good for you. We're going to start with alternate nostril breathing. So the left hand, you're going to lift your left hand and fold back the first and the middle finger, exposing your thumb and your ring finger. So it starts with an inhale through the left. If you know it, you can just begin with just taking 2 rounds. So close off your right nostril and breathe in through your left nostril. Close both nostrils, hold the breath, retain, and then exhale, release your right nostril and exhale all the air out. Inhale through the right, Close the right nostril, hold the breath, retain. Release the left when you're ready and exhale all the air out. Inhale through the left. Close the left nostril, hold the breath, retain. When you're ready, exhale all the air out through the right nostril. Try to relax your muscles, your insides on the hold. Inhale, breathe in through the right. Close the right nostril, hold the breath, retain, soften. And then release your left nostril, exhale all the air out. Lift your left arm up. Then we're going to take a side bend over to your right. Just reach through the fingertips. Feel the opening in your left side body. You may want to walk your right arm out a little bit more. Feel for activating your feet, spreading through the toes, and feeling for rooting down in your left sit bone as you reach through the fingertips of the top hand. Right, so we're creating a little bit of opposition here as we're grounding down through our left sit bone. But lower that top arm down into neck release. So the hand comes just a few inches above the floor behind you and reach through the fingertips there. Breathe in the left side of your neck. And then reach through the hand and pull yourself back up. Coming up to center. And then we're going to switch out the legs and go the other way. So we're going to do 2 rounds of alternate nostril here. So the right leg is on top. And then the right hand, fold back your first and your middle finger once again. Close off your right nostril and take a very deep breath into your left nostril. So my fingers are a little bit strange, so it should be your thumb plugging your right nostril right now, just because I'm doing the opposite of you. Breathe in through the left, hold the breath, close both nostrils, retain the breath just for a beat. And then when you're ready, exhale all the air out through your right nostril. And just repeating that on your own time, breathing in through the right, holding the breath, retaining the breath, relaxing on the hold. So alternate nostril breathing decompresses and down-regulates our nervous system, which is crucial to feeling safe on the yoga mat, in our bodies, and in our lives. So keep going, do 1 more round. It starts with an inhale on the left and it ends with an exhale on the left. Take your time. And then release that hand, reach your right arm up and take a side bend over to your right side. When you're finished, there's no rush. So just grounding down through your right sit bone this time and reaching through the fingertips of your top hand. Feeling the stretch all throughout your right side. Relaxing your head and your neck. Breathing deeply using your Ujjayi breath to travel throughout your body. And what, if anything, feels the strongest right now? Lower the top arm down just for a breath. Inhale here, reach through the fingertips, spread through that hand. Reach through the hand to pull the torso up, coming up to a seated position. So we're gonna stay on this side. We're gonna extend the legs out just for a minute. And then bring your right leg in and cross it over. So Nicole, you'll just do the twist this way and you'll twist, do an open twist. Everybody else will twist in towards the leg. So inhale to find length and then exhale, twist from the upper back. So feel for pivoting that right hip slightly forward and the left hips pivot slightly back. So you're squaring off your hips and rotating from the upper back. So this will create less strain and kind of like jerking in your lower back and your sacrum. Feeling for the upper back rotating and twisting. Deep breath in as you lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the top of the head, and then exhale. See if you can turn from your upper back just a little bit more. And next exhale, slowly release. We're coming into half knee pile. So you're either folding that leg over or you're coming into a figure four. Good. Inhale, walk your fingertips forward. Exhale, fold over the leg. And you may not be moving that much, but feel for what is the strongest sensation. Maybe it's in your left hamstring. Feel for using your fingertips to pulling your ribs forward. And then exhale, relax your head, relax your neck. And see if you can breathe into your pelvis, into your lower body. Good. One more inhale here. And then exhale, walk your fingertips back and switch it out. So this time your left knee is going to come in. Pull, you'll keep it outside. Everybody else will cross that leg over. Inhale, reach through the crown of your head, and exhale, turn the torso. So this time it's your left hip pivoting slightly forward. Your left hip or your right hip is moving slightly back. So you're squaring your hips off to the front so that your torso can turn from the back. And send a breath through the shoulder blades, in between the shoulder blades. And feel for recreating that movement of inhaling to find length in the spine and exhaling to rotate through the spine, the upper spine. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, slowly release. And you're coming into a half knee pile or seated pigeon, seated figure four. Inhale to drag your fingertips forward, drag your ribs forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. And feel for the stronger sensation here. And see if you can stay and breathe into that. Right? Send a very deep breath into the back of your leg, into the hip, wherever you're feeling it the most. And if the mind starts to wander and the thoughts start to creep in, that's totally fine. We're not going to stop the thoughts from coming. Spoiler alert, they never stop. Your task today is to redirect the thinking and bring your awareness into the stronger sensation. That's how we're practicing today. Use your fingertips to press yourself up and walk yourself upright, and then come onto your backs. Have your block nearby. We're moving into abdominals. So for those of you guys that are new to me, we always will do abdominals to wake up the energy in the core. So we're going to start by placing our feet down and our knees bent. Hands interlaced behind your head, elbows in. Feel for tucking your tailbone. So rather than having this arch in the spine, feel for the low back coming flat against the mat, and take a very deep breath into your sacrum. Exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. Hold the breath, press your low back down, and scoop your tailbone. So tuck your tailbone once again. Exhale, bring your elbows over towards the left side. Lift your left shoulder blade tip up off the floor and pull your low belly muscle down. Inhale, come back to center. Deep breath into your low back. Keep your head and your shoulders lifted. Exhale, bring the elbows outside of your right leg. Pull your low belly muscle down, press your feet into the floor, lift and spread the toes. Lift the right shoulder blade tip. Inhale, come back to center, hold the breath. Press the low back down and lift your tailbone up. Exhale, bring your elbows outside of the left leg. Pull your low belly muscle down. Inhale, come back to center, hold the breath. Press your low back down and lift your tailbone. Exhale, bring your elbows outside of your right leg. Pull the low belly muscle down. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Pick your feet up this time so the shins are parallel to the mat. Bring your heels slightly closer in towards the butt. Hold the breath. Press the low back down and lift your tailbone. Exhale, bring the elbows outside of the left leg and pull the low belly muscle down. Inhale, come back to center. Head and shoulders stay up. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Lift your tailbone up. Exhale, elbows outside of the right leg. Pull your low belly muscle down. Inhale, deep breath into the low back. Head and shoulders come to the center. Hold the breath. Press your low back down. Lift your tailbone. Exhale. Bring the elbows outside of the left leg. Straighten your right leg at about a 45-degree angle. If this hurts your low back, bring the leg straight up. Hold the low belly muscle down. Inhale, bend both knees. Come back to center. Hold the breath. Press your low back down. Lift your tailbone. Exhale. Extend the left leg out. Bring the elbows outside of the right leg and pull the low belly muscle down. Inhale, come back to center. Keep your head and shoulders stay up. Hold the breath, press your low back down, lift your tailbone. Exhale, bring your elbows outside of your left leg, straighten your right leg, and pull your low belly muscle down. Good, inhale, come back to center. Feel for the strongest sensation. See if you can breathe slowly. Hold the breath, press your low back down, lift the tailbone. Exhale, extend the left leg out. Reach your elbows outside of the right leg and pull your low belly muscle down. Deep breath into your low back, come back to center. We're just gonna do 2 more like that, adding on. Hold the breath, press your low back down, lift your tailbone up. Exhale, extend the right leg out. Elbows come outside of the left leg. Take your left foot and place it on your shin and lift your tailbone up. Feel for pressing your foot into your shin and your shin into your foot. Inhale, bend both knees, come back to center. 1 more, hold the breath, press your low back down, lift your tailbone up. Exhale, extend the left leg out. Reach your elbows outside of the right leg. Take your right foot and press it on your shin and then scoop your tailbone up. Pull the low belly muscle down. Good, inhale, come back to center. Place your head down and place your feet down. Take a very deep breath into your belly. And start to feel for any changes in your energy, physically. Waking up the core, the center of our bodies, is the home of waking up our energy. So grab a hold of your block and place it in between your pubic bone, just snug up against your pelvis. Interlace your hands back behind you. Does everyone have a block? Okay, you're welcome. Pick your feet up. Bend the knees and keep your shins parallel to the mat. Deep breath into your low back. Smush your low back into the mat. Exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. Squeeze your prop. Exhale, bring your elbows outside of the left leg, pull your low belly muscle down. Deep breath in to your low back as you bring your elbows back to center. Hold the breath. Squeeze your prop. Exhale, bring your elbows outside of your right leg and pull the low belly muscle down. Inhale, come back to center. Deep breath in. Squeeze your prop. Exhale, bring your elbows outside of the left. Pull the low belly muscle down. Deep breath into the low back as you bring your elbows back to the center. Squeeze your prop. Exhale, elbows come outside of the right leg. Pull the low belly muscle down. Inhale, back to center. This time, straighten your legs if it feels good in your hamstring and your back, or you can keep working with the bent knee. Squeeze your prop. Exhale, elbows come outside of the left leg. Pull the low belly muscle down. Inhale, come back to center. Deep breath into the low back. Squeeze your prop. Exhale, elbows outside of the right leg. Pull the low belly muscle down. Deep breath into the low back. Elbows come back to center. Squeeze your prop. 2 more. Exhale, bring the elbows outside of your left leg. Pull the low belly muscle down. 1 more deep breath into the low back. Bring the elbows back to center. Squeeze the prop. Exhale, elbows come outside of the right. Pull the low belly muscle down. Inhale, come back to center. Great job, everyone. Place your feet down. Lay your head down. Coming up into bridge. So lay your hands at your side, palms face up, press into the feet and lift your hips up. Stretching out your belly, countering all of the abdominal work that we just did. Feel for activating your lower legs, trying to get the clenching out of your butt muscles, right? So light squeeze on the prop. So the prop is really teaching us how to engage the insides of the legs, and feel for sending more weight forward towards me, if that makes sense. Keep pressing into your feet to lift your hips a little bit higher, and take 1 more high quality inhale. And then as you exhale, lower slowly your upper, middle, and lower spine all the way down. Remove your prop when you get there, and then roll over to one side and press yourself up into hands and knees. So we're moving into dolphin with the hands clasped. So lower down your elbows and your forearms. You could also do this with parallel forearms if you prefer. So I always measure out my dolphin by grabbing around the round part of your upper arm. Clasp the hands if you choose, or keep the hands flat. Relax your head and your neck. Tuck the toes, and then you can work to straighten the legs. Feel for shifting your weight back. And if you want, you can work with wider feet and coming up onto the toes, the ball of the foot, bending the knees and shifting the weight back. Good. Then you can work to straighten the legs. And feel for any effects of dolphin, either on the mind or in the body. Maybe going upside down feels a little more grounding. And feel for working the heels towards the ground and the toes coming up off the mat. Take 2 more breaths here. And exhale, lower the knees down and come to stand at the top of your mat. We're going to move into our sun salutations with varying lunges. So just take a moment here to just stand quietly at the top of your mat with your feet together. Just recalibrating your breath and recommitting to your intent for your practice today. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, step your left foot back, drop the back knee down, and hands can stay down or they can work your way up as you breathe in. Frame the front foot and come back to a plank. In your plank, inhale. Exhale, squeeze the elbows, bend the elbows straight back, squeeze them in towards the midline, shoulders moving away from the ears as you lower all the way down. Tops of feet come to the ground, slide the hands forward, pull the hands forward, pull the hands back as you pull your chest forward and breathe in. Exhale, squeeze your elbows in towards the midline, pull the chest through the arms, lower all the way down, hands on the shoulders, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward and drop the back knee down. Hands reach up. Step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, palms press. We're gonna speed this one up just a little bit if you choose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, length. Exhale, step the right foot back, drop the back knee down and come up. Plank. Inhale, in your plank, exhale, lower all the way down through chaturanga. Slide the hands forward, pull the heel of the hand back as you lift the chest. Good, so coming up into low cobra. Then squeeze the elbows in, pull the chest through, come all the way down. Hands under shoulders, downward facing dog. Come up and down. Step your right foot forward, drop your back knee down. Inhale, come up. Step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, palms press. Exhale, fold again, changing it up slightly, just with the lunge. Inhale, find length. Exhale, step your left foot back. This time you can keep the back knee lifted if you want. You can always work with the back knee down. And we're just gonna hold this for a breath. Squeeze your inner legs together. Imagine there's a block in between your legs and you're squeezing the block. Frame the front foot and step it back to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Slide the hands forward, pull the heel of the hand back, come up. Exhale, pull heel of hand back all the way through. Hands under shoulders, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, high lunge, back knee lifts. You could keep your hands down or walk them up. We're just gonna stay, hold for an extra breath. Squeeze your inner legs together and lift up the ribs away from the hips. Step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, fold again, noticing if the movement is grounding your energy. Inhale, find length. Exhale, step your right foot back, high lunge. Frame the front foot, plank. Moving through a little more quickly this time. Slide the hands forward, pull heel of hand back, pull ribs through the arms. Exhale, squeeze, pull through. Hands under shoulders, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, high lunge, inhale. Frame the front foot and step it forward. Inhale, come all the way up, palms pressed. Grab a hold of your right wrist, lift up through the hips and side bend over to your left. Going this way. Good. Feel for your right hip moving slightly to the right. Good. And press into your right foot. Inhale, come on. Switch it out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, chair pose. Sit your hips back. Reach through the hands, send your hips back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, length. Exhale, step back to plank or jump back to bent elbows, chaturanga. Lower all the way down. We're coming down for boat pose. So hands come alongside, squeeze the toes, and lift everything up for boat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, moving them down and away from the ears. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Hands under shoulders, downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back. And just take a moment in your downward facing dog to recalibrate your attention, your awareness. And then on your inhale, step your left foot forward for warrior two. The hips are opening up towards the right side. This way. You're bending the left knee, and the left knee is moving back. Good. Activate your back leg. Feel for almost lifting the inner arch of your back leg. We're going to do a round of shoulder shrugs here. So the hands are going to come down, and you're going to take a deep breath into your upper back. Inhale. Exhale, shrug your shoulders straight up. Squeeze the tops of your shoulder blades together, squeezing, and roll the shoulders down the back, like you're giving yourself a massage. Deep breath into your upper back. We're going to do that again. Squeeze your shoulders up, then squeeze the middle tips of your shoulders together. Squeeze them back. Keep squeezing and lower them all the way down the back. Good. One more like that. Keep rebending that left knee. Exhale, squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Now your arms can bend, your elbows can bend as you squeeze and lower all the way down. Good. Reach the arms out. Left arm comes up and overhead for reverse warrior. Keep rebending that front knee and feel for activating the top hand. So one way that we can stay really present is by working with active hands and active feet. So active feet, you can work with that by spreading through the toes of the top foot, so with the toes almost lift, and the hands, the fingers spread evenly. Straighten your front knee, lower the hand down, heel toe the back foot in. We're moving with a triangle pose. So have your block handy. Inhale to reach your left arm forward, and then exhale, come down. If you're using a block, have the block to the outside of your foot. So you may want to play around with the height of the block. We're going for length in both sides of your waist. And then lean your weight back. Relax your head and your neck. Is it even possible? So in reverse warrior, we had like a scrunching of the lower ribs. Triangle pose, you're trying to avoid that. You're trying to lengthen both sides of your waist. Nice adjustments. And then lower the top hand down, move back into a plank position. Inhale in the plank. And then exhale, bend the elbows straight back, lower all the way down. For both with shoulder shrugs, like we just did in our warrior two. So the hands are going to come like goal pose. So you're going to squeeze the toes together, squeeze the legs together. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift everything up. Squeeze the top, middle, and lower shoulder blade tips together. Keep squeezing, and then lower all the way down. Do that again. Deep breath in. Squeeze the legs together. Exhale, lift everything up and squeeze the top, middle, and lower shoulder blades together. Lower all the way down. Deep breath in one more time like that. Exhale, lift everything up and squeeze the top, middle, and lower shoulder blades hips together. Lower down, hands under shoulders, downward facing dog. And we'll repeat that on the other side. Step your right foot forward for warrior two. Arms and hips open to your left side. Bend that front knee generously and feel for that knee moving back. Kite hawk arms. As you inhale, rotate the arms externally. Lift the palms up, maybe lift the gaze. And then exhale, internal rotation. So lift the shoulder blades up towards the ears and then rotate forward. Rounding in the upper back. Keep moving at your own breath. Inhaling to lift your palms up and then exhaling to rotate forward. Keep your legs as stable and unchanged as possible. It's just the upper back that's rotating. And you can pick up the pace or you can go slower, however you feel is most effective to grounding your energy. Start to feel the heat and the intensity build in your upper back and your arms. Take 2 more breaths, 2 more rounds. And then exhale, straighten the arms out just for a breath and feel the heat and the intensity in the arms. Feel that heat that you just generated. Reach your right arm up and over for a reverse forward. Rebending that front knee and spreading through each finger in the top hand. Feel for lifting the right ribs away from your right leg. Relaxing your head. You can always place the back knee down and do it with the back knee down if you feel that that is more accessible today. Lower the top arm, bring yourself up, straighten the leg for triangle pose. So you may have to reset that back leg, shorten your stance, and then inhale, reach that right arm forward. Exhale, bring the block to the outside. Now, why do we bring the block to the outside? So that we're not crunching forward. We're really giving ourselves more space to lean back. And then feel for lengthening through both sides of your waist. So almost like they're even. Lean back, reach back. Focus on the breathing, turn to the breathing. It's just yoga. Make your way back to a plank position. Lower all the way down to the ground. Interlock the hands back behind you. Squeeze the inner legs together, big toes touch, and then exhale, lift everything up for both with the hands clasped. Stay for a breath, inhale, and then exhale, lower it down. Hands under shoulders, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward for arrow lunge. Our little arrow mascot. Back knee comes down, sink the hips forward. So arrow lunge, the back knee is lifted and the toe is pointed. So think of like an arrow, that back leg is strong and lifted. Now there's a couple different options where you can play with the intensity. You can take a block or a towel and place it above the knee joint, so you have a little more support. You can place blocks on either side of you if you want to work the full pose. Hands can come to the top of the foot or reach the arms up, squeezing your inner legs together, like imagining the abdominals that we did earlier today. Squeeze your inner legs together, sink your hips forward, reach your heart back. Good, keep squeezing. To get quiet in the mind, make the breath more audible. Take one more breath. And then exhale, lower the back knee down, lower the hands down if they're lifted. and sit back for a twisting lunge. So Nicole, you're going to work with an easy twisting lunge where you're twisting far back if this feels okay. For everybody else, we're going to work with a twisting lunge with the elbow to the top of the thigh. I mean, anybody else can actually take easy twisting lunge if that feels better. But for the purposes of where we're going, I'm going to suggest this one. So work with your right elbow to the top of the thigh and feel for turning your right ribs up. Now, feel for sending your left hip point back slightly and see if you can breathe a little more space between your hips and your ribs, creating a little more space in your back. Relax your head and your neck as the last stop of this. Take a deep breath in and then exhale, release. Extend that front leg for nomad or half split. So some teachers will teach this with the flex. I'm suggesting to point the foot just to feel for that extra stretch in the top foot. And some people, your toes will come down and some will not. And that's totally fine. It doesn't mean anything really. See if you can find and maintain space in your back. And then once again, reorienting to your intention, bringing your awareness to the strongest sensation in the body. Right, so then if we can get really good with navigating the physical sensations, we can also get really good at navigating those intense emotional states and emotional sensations. If you want, you can take an optional twist to the outside of your left leg. So Nicole, just be careful with this. You're twisting in towards the leg. So starting to feel, for this, actually flex your foot and turn the toes out towards the left. Good, yes, because we don't want to do weird tweaky things with our ankles. So flex the foot, turn the toes out, walk the hands over. Good, and it's okay to keep a soft bend in the front knee. So opening up that IT band area, outer hamstring. And then slowly release. And just step back into hands and knees, grab a hold of a block and place it in between your thighs. Have your wrists underneath your shoulders, tuck the toes under. Breathe in, squeeze your block. Exhale, lift your knees just 1 inch off of the ground. Squeeze, keep squeezing the block. Lower the knees even more, good, just 1 inch, hover. Exhale, lower the knees down, take a deep breath in, squeeze the block, and then exhale, lift and hover, the knees up, pulling the low belly muscle up and back. Lower down, breathe in. One more time, squeeze the block, lift and hover. As you exhale, press into the hands, feel the quivering and the quaking as you draw your belly in and up. And then lower the knees down, remove your block, and step back into downward facing dog. And we'll do that on the other side. Step your right foot forward for arrow lunge. So once again, you can have a prop. Make sure that it goes above the knee joint. The knee is a very mobile joint, so we don't want it to go on the patella. We want it to go slightly up. Top foot comes down, squeeze inner legs together, and then work your hands up. If the fingertips are down, try to make it very light. You don't want like too much weight in your hands. You really want to feel for the inner legs working. As the intensity builds, use that to draw your attention in rather than scattering it away. See if you can make your breath louder, giving your mind something to pay attention to. And feel for what is the strongest sensation. And that is embodiment. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, lower the hands down for twisting lunge or easy twisting lunge. So if you're coming into easy twisting lunge, left hand moves way off the mat, reaching back. If you're coming into a twisting lunge, your left elbow is coming onto the top of your thigh and you're turning your torso towards the right. Lay your heart back. So rather than coming in close, this isn't that twist. This twist, I want you guys to work to lay back away from your right leg and your arms. Feel for the opening in your right side waist. Inhale deeply. Exhale, slowly release and straighten that front leg with the toe pointed. So noticing from arrow lunge to now this pose, where is your awareness most grounded? By that, I mean, where is it most in your body? You might be surprised. It's not always relaxation or gentle poses that ground our awareness. At least for me, it's not. Sometimes the challenge and the intensity can be really, really grounding. If you choose, flex the toes, turn the toes out, and then walk the hands in towards that right leg, finding a twist in the outer hamstring. Stay for another breath. Then Marissa, you may one day lower down onto your forearms or maybe even onto those blocks onto your forearms. Yes, good. Slowly release and then press yourself up into downward facing dog for a calf stretch in downward facing dog. So to do this, you're gonna walk your feet slightly in, so closer to your nose. Send your hips back. You can keep your knees bent and you're gonna lift your right foot and then place the big toe and the middle toe behind the Achilles heel of the left foot. So you're gonna feel for pressing your left heel down with your right toes. Keep sending your hips back and pressing into all 10 fingers. Widening through the upper back and just breathe into your left hamstring. Slowly release and then go the other way. So lifting your left foot up off the mat, placing the big toe and the second toe behind your Achilles heel of the right leg. Keep sending the hips up and back. Slowly release, go back to your regular downward facing dog. And then we'll finish up with our last vignette. Step your left leg forward for warrior one. Choices. So you're either coming into easy twisting, right? Or twisting. So it's like the repeat of that lunge that we did after arrow lunge. So I'm suggesting your twisting lunge if there's no counter indications. So your right elbow is going to come to the top of the thigh. Good. Yes. So in this pose, this is a challenging pose. You're going to feel for squeezing your inner legs together and laying your heart back. Good. Keep moving your left hip point. So turn your left hip point just slightly underneath you. See if you can get quiet. Slowly release, pyramid pose. Step your left foot in slightly. Take a hold of blocks if you have them. So on either side, Does anybody need blocks? I'm gonna give you guys, I don't use these two. Good. And then step that back foot in. Option for Uddiyana here. So Nicole, just breathe regularly through this, no holding. So inhale, reach your ribs away from your hips if you want Uddiyana. Exhale forcefully all the air out. While you are empty, suction your belly back and up, and then pull your ribs forward with your fingertips, finding more length and tractioning in the spine. If you're not doing this, just breathe regularly in pyramid pose. Release the hold and breathe in. Lift your chin. We're going to do 2 more like that. Deep breath in. Exhale forcefully all the air out. While holding the breath out, suction your belly back and up. Drag your ribs forward away from your hips. Keep holding your breath out, suctioning belly back and up. When you need to breathe in, relax the belly, relax your chin, breathe in. 1 more time like that, breathe in. Exhale forcefully all the air out. Suction the belly back and up while you're on empty and drag your ribs forward. Good, so we're finding tractioning in the back. When you need to breathe in, relax your belly, breathing in. Twisting triangle. So you're gonna lift your left arm up in this pose. Right. Nicole, you might be able to do this. I don't see how it feels in your body if you come all the way out and away from your leg. See how it feels. Yeah, don't push it if. So you're squeezing your inner legs together and you're laying your torso back. You can also just repeat triangle pose, Nicole, if this feels too tight. Lay back and start to feel the sensation in your outer left leg. If you want, you can take your top arm and bring it to your sacrum. That might take a little bit of the strain off. Step back and lower to your knees just so you can watch me for a moment for your choices. So you're either coming into a standing balance with a twist where you're bringing your left leg up and you're twisting. So option to grab for the toe, to extend, right? We did this pose quite a bit. Or side crow. You're coming down to a squat. You're gonna practice with making a shelf for your leg on your upper arm. Pick your hips up, send the weight forward. Keep reaching forward through the crown of the head and you're in side crow. Or you can split the legs and come into twisting scissors. Keep reaching through the crown of your head and coming down. You can also, Nicole, you may not want to do any of this, so I will also call out, you can do just like a regular standing balance, right? Practice there. You can also practice maybe coming out to the side, but I would say maybe forward. Or you can do a squat to crow. So those are just some options for people that don't want to do the twist. So let's come to choose what you want to do. So if you want to stand, we're going to start balancing with our left foot. If you want to do side crow, you're going to come down and squat and pick your hips up and lean forward. So I will give you guys 5 to 10 breaths to practice, and I'll just kind of like keep an eye out while you're doing what you're doing. So walk your hands forward just slightly. So no, you're here, right? And then walk your hands forward. Yes. So pick your hips up and then yes, and then lean forward, look forward. Yep, look forward and down. Yeah. Goodness, that's just looking forward and leaning forward. Good. Yeah. Slippery. Good. Kristen, look forward and down. Yes. Keep leaning forward. Yes. Good. 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 When you're done with that side and you're done playing, good, Marissa. Press back into downward facing dog, and we'll do that side, those poses on the other side. Step your right foot forward for a twisting lunge, a twisting warrior, or easy twisting warrior. Left elbow comes to the top of the thigh, lean back, roll back. Good. So keep leaning your heart back and keep pressing your elbow into the top of your thigh. Activating your back leg. If some of you guys are doing it with the back heel lifted, that's totally fine. Whichever way you're doing it, squeeze your inner legs together so that your heart can roll back. Slowly release for pyramid pose. Lengthen both legs. And this time, we're just going to practice on our inhales and exhales, finding more space. So on your inhale, wherever your fingertips are, if they're on blocks or they're on the floor, inhale to drag your ribs forward, away from your hips, and then exhale, fold chest to the upper thigh. And we'll just do that again. So undulating the spine, inhale to lift the ribs and drag your ribs forward. Exhale to fold a little deeper and keep moving like that on your own back. Inhale, drag the ribs away from hips. Exhale. Go for 3 more breaths. Twisting triangle, lift your right arm up. Squeeze your inner legs together. Your right arm can also come to the sacrum. And feel for squaring off the hips behind you. So really the sacrum isn't really moving that much. It's just your torso. Nice, Ken. Good. Keep reaching through that top arm. Good. Really nice. Take one more breath here. And then exhale, slowly release. You're moving into a standing balance or side crow. So standing balance, you're balancing on your left first. Change one thing at a time. Or if you're doing side crow, you're going to come to a squatty position. Your hands are going to walk forward. Yep. Good, Kristen, walk your hands forward just a little bit more. Lift the hips up. Feel for reaching the crown of the head forward and away. Yep. Look forward just slightly. Good. Yes. Yes. And then you're just going to play and find your balance point. 2 more breaths to play. Really nice, Amanda. Super strong. Good. Find your balance and deepen your breath. And then come down to a seated position and grab a hold of your strap if you have it. And I will show you guys how to do this twist with the strap. Kristen, again, I'm sorry, not Kristen, Nicole, you will do this as an open twist. And I'll show you how to do that, but for the purposes of this closed twist, come forward so you guys can see it. And me twisting in towards the leg. So you're gonna wrap a loop around your left foot. I'm gonna bring it around. Yep. So it's gonna go, you're gonna bring it around your right side. Right? You're gonna grab a hold of it with your right hand. And then reach around, so like almost like you're in this like half bind. Reach around for the strap with both hands. And then you're gonna find the twist. So cross that leg over. Yes, exactly. Now reach it around, but all the way around. Now twist that way. Yeah, I know this is such a doozy, but it feels so good. I promise it'll be great. So bring your left arm, Natalia, around. So like, you see which way you're doing. You're going here. So bring this arm around. Yep. This way. Then you're going to take this hand and bring it around, grab a hold of the strap here. No, I think you're going the other way. Yeah. So that arm, yep, your right hand is going to grab here and your left arm is going to grab here. Good. And now you're going to use your grip to turn. Good. Lean back into the strap. And then exhale, slowly release, and we'll go the other way. So I'll go this way and show you guys. You're going to loop a strap around your right ankle, cross the ankle over. No, so it's this time it's going to go around to the left. You're going to grab it, one hand. So your left hand is going to come around the shin, grab the strap with your left hand. Good. Take your right hand and then rotate it back, reaching for the strap. So you're going to pull with your left hand, and you're going to pull with your right hand, and you're going to lean back. Good. Yes, Kristen, it's much better. Try to get your right foot on the floor. You could also bend your knee and lean back. Mm-hmm. Feeling for pivoting that right hip slightly forward and the left hip slightly back. And then slowly release. We're coming into either a forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So I'll show you guys two options. Your first option is to loop the strap around your feet and come to a forward fold. You might not need the strap and you may just be able to go around your feet. Or if you want a little balancing action, lift your feet up, hold the strap, balance on your sacrum. Choose where you want to go. If you have the mobility, you can also take a block and bring it around your feet and grab hold of your block. Yes, good. Amanda, you probably do two blocks. Good, very good. Yes. Good. Breathe into the strongest sensation. Even after all of that hamstring opening, there's still more to be done. That's like what this pose is really tells me sometimes. Good. And then slowly release and make your way onto your backs with your head facing me. We're just going to take a happy baby on our backs, and maybe you rock side to side and just start to feel for your sacrum lengthening down towards the mat. So like a slight untucking in your tailbone, drawing the tops of the thighs towards the mat, and just taking some gentle sways, or maybe you find some stillness here. And if there's anything else that you need in the practice, maybe a twist or a Baddha Konasana on the back, so the feet come together. Maybe you want to take 10 breaths with just legs up the air. Begin to start to close and quiet your practice down. Feel for having done all the work that you need to have done this morning, whether it was what you envisioned for your yoga practice or whether it was something completely different. And I'll be coming around with a tuning fork adjustment to the crown of the head. If you do not want to receive tuning fork adjustment, just place one or two hands on your belly and Start to just feel the ground supporting you, start to feel heavy. Just really be in these last few moments of your yoga practice, the last thing that you'll do before your day, before your weekend. Slowly begin to connect to the breath, inviting some gentle movement, some fingers on the toes, making your way to a seated position, your eyes closed. Bringing your hands to heart center. And just taking a moment to sit in the quiet. Changes. Taking a moment to generate gratitude and appreciation for this yoga practice. Our way, our path into truth. Our body is where the truth for us lies. There's nowhere else that we can access and find what is true for us. And just taking that in and carrying that with us as we enter this new season, this fire season. Really honor our true, authentic selves and knowing that we can always come here to find that. So take a moment to bow and seal in your wonderful practice today. Thank you all so much for being here and practicing with me in this heat. True Leo fashion. Have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend. Thank you. Stop this. Thanks, Mom.